Blessings in abundance. It's Brother Polight, and today's early message is that you're too smart to be broke. And that's the mantra I want all you guys to have on a day-to-day basis. I want you to wake up and always tell yourself you're way too smart to be broke. And it costs too much to be poor. But definitely, you're too smart to be broke. And so I'm going to convey some of this information from my stream that I did on Instagram, because it gets compromised when you're putting out the positive information. Sometimes the audio is not working for people, or it's not getting shared as much. People ask me to share the information on the Facebook community. So let's start it off with this. Make sure you retrieve your data from LexisNexis, LEXIS, NEXIS, LexisNexis, and Check Systems, CHEX, Check Systems. What that does is ensure that you find out what kind of information is being solicited to financial institutions, okay, that could potentially compromise your ability to retrieve large amounts of money through loans, or just in general getting a better credit rating and standard. Okay, many of you don't know that your banking information is being used against you. It can work to your advantage if you're in a higher tax bracket. Many of you are not in a higher tax bracket, so it puts you in a very compromising position. Okay, so furthermore, you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com when you're ready to get your credit restoration microwave. Like I told you in the closing of it, because I'm finishing up, I'm mentoring people, so not only do they get the monies, boost the credit, but I'll also give you direction. I share different options with you, and so you don't mess up the money, because once you get the money, then what? You don't want to mess around and lose all the money. So that's one. I'm going to do a more thorough breakdown on the credit system later today, but I want to just give you some action right now. So you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Let me put it here for you. brotherpolight45@gmail.com. You leave your full name and your phone number. Full name and phone number when you're ready to pay your $2,000 to get access to anywhere between 100 grand to 300 grand in credit. And again, this time around, what I'm doing, when you're ready, this time around, what I'm doing is mentoring people. So it's coming with the mentorship at the conclusion of the process. So you got options and what to do with that bread when you get it. Anywhere between 100 grand and 300 grand. All right, you spend $2,000, you get access to that money. I know a lot of people are like, well, if you know it, how come everybody else doesn't know it? Well, that's the case with a lot of beneficial information. But most of you are relying on school, and from pre-K to 12th grade is 14 years you go to school. They don't actually teach you about credit, nor they teach you about real estate. They don't teach you about nothing in particular to really prepare you for adulthood. They have you doing all sorts of sophisticated math and learning all sorts of technical sciences, which is cool, but none of which you'll have to really use to thrive in society. Right? These are facts. Also, you want to make sure, if in the event you know you have something that's going to impact your credit negatively, you can simply contact TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax and request that they freeze your credit report for an indefinite time. You say you got reason to believe that something will compromise your credit, it could be identity issues, it doesn't matter. And what'll happen is they'll freeze your credit. So imagine if we knew that, you could freeze your own credit report. So if you got something negative that'll impact your credit report, it won't impact your credit report if you tell them to freeze it. Many can't pay that kind of credit loan back. What are you talking about? It's a forgiveness loan. You see, this is the problem with our people. It's so negative already. Oh, we can't pay it back. First of all, even if you had any kind of APR or any kind of interest rate on getting $100,000 to $300,000, that'd mean you're so nervous about your capabilities of investing money. Like, you should never turn down an opportunity to get 200 grand or $300,000 because you have to pay it back. What do you invest in the money in? I would like to believe you're going to invest the money, not just buy cars and houses that you can't make money off of. So let's think about that. Yes, we deal with business credit. So if you want to get the loan through business credit, we help you set up your DBA or Duns and Bradley, or your DMB, pardon me, your Duns and Bradley number, help you set that up. All right, or you get it through personal loan. The type of company we would suggest would be a trust. You set up a sovereign irrevocable private trust or a solo tax lien trust fund. That's what you would do. Yep. That's what you would do. Yep, hold on. Peace to the family. So, also, the reason why we send out the documents through registered mail, signature confirmation, green card receipt is because the mail goes through a chain of custody. When you send it out through registered mail, signature confirmation, green card receipt, that means that aside from yourself, 3 other people have to bear witness to the fact that the mail was sent out. And what that does is put you in a very dope position. That puts you in a really good position. The reason why that puts you in a really good position is because now the financial institutions and credit bureaus, they can't say that they didn't receive it, and that's important because the way we send out the mail is a $20,000 to $30,000 infraction for every correspondence that we send that they don't reply to. So the reason why we spend so much money on the mailing procedure through the registered mail, signature confirmation, green card receipt is because there's at least 3 witnesses, not counting yourself, that bear witness to the fact that that letter or those letters were sent out there. So you got your compendiums, memorandums, affidavits of facts, that's all being sent to the credit bureaus and financial institutions. Keep in mind that there was a huge breach that took place with Experian, where it affected over 65 million people. So that means if you're 18 years and older, 65 years under, and not an illegal immigrant, that you have the right to say you most likely was impacted by it. And that's the basis for us being able to get the credit score boosted up, and also for not just to get your credit score boosted up, but then for you to leverage the turn the cheek clause after we send in the right paperwork. Once they remove all those negative items off your report, I don't care if it's student loan, child support, bankruptcy, foreclosures, other forms of default, repossessions, evictions, doesn't matter. Once we get all that stuff off your report, then they got to put you in a position where you can leverage your newly found credit disposition and be approved for anywhere between $100,000 to $300,000. That how much you get in particular varies depending on the city, state, zip code that you're in, previous credit history, but nonetheless, whether you have so-called good credit or definitely bad credit, you'll be straight. Now, the reason why I say so-called good credit, because a lot of people say, well, I already got good credit, I just want to get the loan. But a lot of times people with lesser credit scores, lower credit scores, are able to get more than people with higher credit scores, just because maybe the neighborhood that they're living in. And there's another thing, when I'm doing the work for you, give us a heads up if you should happen to change your mailing address, because changing your address can lower your score dramatically, or it can increase it dramatically. So we always want to know what's going on. So you always, email us at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. You leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready to purchase the credit restoration microwave. It's $2,000, and what we do, we send letters and affidavits to credit bureaus and financial institutions alike for the purposes of removing negative items off your report, adding positive items to your report, boosting your credit scores, and then leveraging your newly found credit disposition so that you're approved for anywhere between $100,000 to $300,000. Again, no, they don't teach this in school, but like I always tell you, from pre-K to 12th grade is 14 years of going to school, and you haven't learned quite the bit of things that you should have been learning to prepare you in for life or as an adult, and that's all by design. It's a setup. It's all like that by design. Okay? Real talk. Peace. Oh yeah, no doubt. Congratulations too. 180 points up on the credit score. I feel you. No doubt. No doubt, Shaheen. No doubt. I appreciate that. And more is to come. More is to come. Yes, even if you was incarcerated, it wouldn't matter. We still can get the job done for you, so keep that in mind. Just leave your full name, your phone number when you're ready to purchase. You don't have to contact us and tell us you'll be ready 2 weeks from now, a month from now, 3 months from now. I'm actually closing out the program, but the way I'm closing it out with a bang. And the way I'm closing it out is I'm also giving you direction. Keep in mind that I'm not a financial advisor. Anything that I share with you is predicated upon my personal experience and interactions with others, but you should always verify it with people that are credentialed, professionals. Even if they weren't aware of some of the things that I expressed to you, it's reverse osmosis. Once you enlighten them or expound on the things that I taught you, then they can reverse engineer the information, so to speak, and realize, oh, it's a fact. But I always let people know when it comes to the options therewith that exist in terms of what you can do with the money once you get access to the $100,000 to $300,000. Under my mentorship, I'm just expressing the plethora of opportunities that exist. What you do is double check with a CPA, double check with a financial advisor, somebody that is credentialed. I'm only a high school dropout. The only thing I can give you is my personal experience, and that's what I share with people, and I have the right to share my personal experience. But by all means, double check and verify everything that I'm saying. Double check and verify everything that I'm saying. Okay? With the professionals. And that's what I want you to do, because in that case, when you do it that way, you know you haven't been led astray and you're on point. That's the best thing anyone could do. But yeah, I'm not going to stop sharing data, though. That's what I'm not going to do. But again, you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com when you're ready to purchase your $2,000 credit restoration. This is the last time around for it, but I'm also including mentorship as well, so you don't squander the money, or so you know the many options that exist. You just leave your full name, your phone number at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. I mean, who doesn't want to get access to 100 to 300 grand? Sometimes the money sounds so large. A lot of times, like I'm telling you, we do it the right way, is forgiveness loan, because it's the situation in which it's the reason why you're able to even access this opportunity in the first place. It's based on a breach that has transpired. So for starters, you're going to get monies that you don't got to pay back. That's wild. And if you have to pay anything back, it'd be minuscule. But why on earth would you turn down an opportunity to get $250,000, $150,000? I mean, even if the rate was ridiculous in terms of the payback, if you invest your money properly, like into a consumer-friendly franchise, if you were to set up a solo tax lien trust fund, which is one of the things I suggest people should do. Like, if you get the credit restoration and you have enough money, I will always say get the trust fund as well. Set up a trust, solo tax lien trust fund, and invest in yourself. Create an annuity, annuitize the tax liens. Invest in tax liens, past due delinquent property taxes, and do it to the extent on a month-to-month basis where you've created your own annuity. And establishing that annuity, the next thing that you would do is set up what's called a QRP, or Qualified Retirement Plan, which is a cash and tax deferrable compensation arrangement plan. Because if you set up a retirement account and you filter your revenue from the tax liens into your retirement account, that's going to provide for a great tax shelter and a lot more profit and benefit for you. But again, double check everything that I'm saying, because I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a 10th grade dropout. I only did 10th grade for like 2 or 3 months. Just for the record. You feel what I'm saying? But you go to brotherpolight45@gmail.com. You leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready to get this money. Don't mess around. I'm going to go real thorough later on and just give some free credit information. I'm not even going to say advice. It's just going to be credit information, data that you can really use so you can effect change in real time. But those of you that are ready to get access to 6 figures, don't play around. This is my last time doing this. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I love the results. I love the impact I'm having on the community. By all means, don't hesitate. You're going to spend your money on a bunch of things you don't make money back from, which is sad. That's right. You leave your full name and your phone number when you're ready. But, you know, it's crazy. There's people that have you doubt what to do and why you should do it, but then they don't never give you opportunity. Okay? But yeah, go. Just hit me at brotherpolight45@gmail.com. Make sure you spell polite, Polight. The number's 45. I got it pinned to the top here. and we'll make it happen. Leave your full name and your phone number. Make your money. Doesn't make sense not to. The price of living is going up. Times are getting harder. Let's get to it. Let's get to that bag, as they say. And let's make this money, man. I love and appreciate you guys. I'm going to go super hard into the information. This is just a little quick intermission because I'm about to drive out. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys were in tune with the opportunities that exist. And, you know, do your best, man. Let's get out of poverty. And even if you're not in poverty, let's get you off those clocks, man. You know, you work a 9 to 5, it's 8 hours. You go to work, you probably take an hour to drive there, an hour to come back. That's 10 hours. Most of you sleeping on an average about 6 hours. It's 16 hours. So it's 2/3 of your life just dedicated to improving someone else's life, advancing their disposition, sending their children to school for the future. 1/3 of your life is left over for you to read, study, contemplate, meditate, pray, travel, cook, clean, get into relationships. That 1/3, 8 hours, is not enough time for that, so you got to make sacrifice. So most times people sacrifice reading and studying, which is what pushes us back in the first place. Because if we're not reading and we're not studying, we don't have the time to, because we're exhausted. So I don't really got the time to be reading and studying. And you're reading and studied out from being in school for all them damn years and not getting no real results, only for you to get a job that got you struggling. So no, we're going to make the sacrifice and cut out reading. We're going to cut out studying. We not going to really have time for our children, especially if there's more than one. Not much time for a social life, social undertakings. We got to squeeze in little times where we contribute to ourselves. You're not even indulging in self-care as much as you should. Facials and massages, and that seems like a luxury, but it should be a necessity for you to give to yourself in that capacity. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, touch base when you can. Touch base when you can, and we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Yes, it's inclusive of a mentorship, so I'm going to walk you through the whole process. With blessings and abundance, leave your full name, your phone number. I'm going to connect with you guys, talk that talk, really teach, and let's make this money, man. Let's make it together, man. There's no excuse for us to be struggling in this day and time. There's plenty of excuses, but not in this community, not where we at, in this incubator, this page. But again, I teach in moderation because they'll block my voice or hinder me from my videos being shared when I go too deep into the information. So that's why I take my time and I pick my spots when I start doing the knowledge. So you hit me at that number, full name, leave your full name and your phone number, and you're ready to spend your $2,000 to get access to anywhere between $100 grand and $300 grand, and we'll leverage your newly found credit disposition, get you access to the funds, and we'll walk you through the plethora of different options that you have, so you don't squander the money or make certain most of the common mistakes that people make when they get a large sum of money. Because one minute you have little to nothing, the next minute you have a whole bunch. It's very easy to spend it frivolously, even if you're not attempting to, even if you're being the most mature and responsible person in the world. With the lack of knowledge, it's very easy to misappropriate funds. So we're going to get that right. I'll talk to you guys. If you're sending your emails now, somebody will communicate with you within an hour. Let's get to it. Blessings and abundance. I love you guys.